Yo, welcome to the live this week. Most of us, with Halloween coming up, think that Halloween is for the kids. But when we reframe things a little bit, we realize that it's a step for us in consistency because Halloween, for so many people, is the first domino that falls in the holiday season. We get our kids come home with a big bucket full of candy, and one piece turns to a few, turns to the whole bucket if you're like me. And then we just tell ourselves it's Halloween, and because Thanksgiving is just a few weeks away, we let we let that become a habit as Halloween comes up, as Thanksgiving comes up, and then Thanksgiving comes by, and you're all fed, and you're full, and you're feeling, and then it's Christmas, all the treats that come along with Christmas. So today we're going to talk about how we can enjoy Halloween, but keep our rhythm, keep our momentum, keep our energy, keep our leadership. I appreciate y'all for joining me live. How do you enjoy Halloween? Is it like all in? You just fill every vessel in your house with candy? Do you bring it into your house, maybe hide it? Or do you take a couple pieces and then, like, by November 3rd, it's in the trash? I didn't eat it. It's got to go in the trash. You're like me, at least in the past. It is like, I'm going to eat it all at once. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to eat it. And then what happens is I wake up with a hangover. You wake up with a sugar hangover. It's a weird thing. I don't know if you've experienced that out there, but you get this like candy hangover because our blood sugar spikes. We go to bed and we're wrecked in the morning. I used to let impulse, and I still do. I've put guardrails up that prevent my impulse from running the show. And especially as a parent, as a dad, I've said it here before, is the things that we teach our kids, especially early on, are caught. They're not taught. So they're watching what we do. And you could be like me and just eat it all after they go to bed, and they have no idea. But they're learning how we behave, and that they do come see that, like, wait, where'd the candy? Where'd all the candy go in the morning? They're little observant little creatures. Halloween's not about perfection. It's about energy and consistency. And if you followed along with one of my more recent shorts or reels, we walk like 3 or 4 miles on any given Halloween night. That's 6,000 steps. That's a good thing. Hi, little girl. She comes and she bangs on the glass window. The bad thing is when we're associating all that walking with sugar, and then we're eating all that sugar, it can become a bad habit because sugar gives that quick dopamine hit, that good feeling that we get from accomplishment. But what happens inside our body is we're getting blood sugar spikes. Our pancreas floods our system with insulin, and it gets overshot. Our blood sugar goes below where we're supposed to be, our baseline, and we interpret it as hunger or fatigue. And that's why we have that. I just had it. Hangover. Because we have this sugar binge, we have this huge spike, we crash, we crave more, we feel foggy. It's not that we're weak. It's just the way we're wired. That's our biology. That's the way the hormones in our body works. That's why awareness beats willpower any day of the week because we can't out discipline biology. That's the way we're wired, but we can work with it. We talked about being the thermostat, not the thermometer a few weeks ago, and I think it's applicable here. We don't want to react to the environment. We want to set the environment. And how we can do that is before we go out trick or treating, eat eat a super heavy protein meal. It keeps us satiated, so we're a little bit less likely to just like binge eat on the candy. But the proteins and fats slow our sugar absorption down. So it's kind of like we're putting a speed bump, a damper between the food and our bloodstream. So when we eat a handful of candy, Skittles, Reese's, whatever it is that your preference is, it's like we're just jamming jet fuel into an empty tank. But when we filled our body up with steak and vegetables and totally different response. A little trick that you could do is when you're out trick or treating. I mean, our kids are young, so we're not trick or treating for very long. But a trick or treating night when your kids are 12 years old could last a couple hours. Keep some snacks on hand and help, like think of a beef stick, like a chomp, some cashews, macadamia nuts, water. This is teaching your kids that we have balance here and that we're not throwing away our goals, all the things that we work on for one night. You could. One thing we started doing last year is whenever we'd go see an empty, people leave their buckets out now instead of being out there handing out the candy. Cool, do your thing. Whenever we'd see an empty bucket, donate some pieces of the bucket. You could just pick out your top 2 or 3 candies and everything else goes away. You don't have to trash it, but you could just donate it all to somebody or like, right? You could just trash it. Every time we reward stress or we reward boredom with food, we reinforce a dopamine loop. We're telling our body that comfort equals consumption. But when we are able to replace that loop with a walk, a conversation, some other trigger, we we reframe that loop. We reframe our brain to find reward in that action, in the presence of walking, laughing, having a chat. That is neuroplasticity. That is allowing our brain to learn and grow in action. You're literally able to rewire your nervous system. And I would like thinking about how leadership you can analogize this for many different things. It starts in the small moments because those small moments build those neural pathways. And then when big moments come along, you default to what you did in those small moments. If you've been building systems and building habits, keep your routine sacred. Okay? The reason you build systems and habits is because a one night is okay. It's when you allow the one night to bleed into Halloween's tomorrow. It's a Friday. It very easily could go the weekend. And now you're either You're either trying to play catch up on Monday and get back into your routine, or you've built a new norm now. Holidays don't have to throw you off. And this is the holiday season. Protect your routines. Get your workout in. Make sure you're staying hydrated, drink enough water. Make sure don't you might want to give yourself a little grace if you've got older kids. Like, it's going to be pretty easy for me. I'm like, my kids are not staying out till 10 o'clock at night. So I'm going to be maybe a little bit late to my bedtime tomorrow, but it's not going to be hours late. So give yourself some grace here on a Saturday morning. Maybe you sleep in a little bit extra and you shift your morning routine around a bit, but make sure that you get back into your system, you get back into those habits. That way, when Sunday comes around and Monday comes around, you're still hitting the ground running. A little biological kind of win here is like a 10, just a 10 to 15-minute walk after you eat can drop your blood glucose levels by 20 to 30%. Your muscles are pulling that sugar out of your bloodstream and using it to energize your walk. It's not a punishment. It's just using the physiology, our nature for your benefit. You've already walked as a family for trick or treating. Hopefully, I know there's going to be a time where the kids don't want to go trick or treating with us anymore. Right, that happens. But walk as a family, burn it off a little bit. Hey, you do it the next day. Have your little treat and then go for a walk. A lot of us use our holidays, and I'll do one on Thanksgiving as we come closer to Thanksgiving, but we use it as an escape. Like, it's Halloween, it's Thanksgiving. I'm not going to do my thing. But instead of using it as escape, let's use it to connect to the things that are important to us. Use a holiday as a day to be in the parasympathetic state, the safe state, instead of the sympathetic fight or flight state. Connect with your family, connect with those that matter to you. Okay, be present, not just spiritually present, but Christmas, but biologically. If you're a person of faith, pray with your kids before heading out. Hey, keep us safe tonight. Let us have fun, right? Because that's what let us laugh, right? Let us create memories around the togetherness, not the candy. Hey, Megan. I did really bad checking the live on this week. So I said hi to nobody except for you so far. Tomorrow's not about restriction. It's about leading with our values. Enjoy the candy, but be aware of the challenges that enjoying the candy can present. Enjoy the night with your family, with your friends, but be aware. We don't need perfection, we need presence. I got a challenge. I appreciate you, Megan. Post your Halloween plan. Make a reel about it, make a Facebook post, LinkedIn post, something simple like, hey, this is the meal that I plan on eating before we go. I'm taking my 32-ounce jug of water with me. We're going to pick our top 3 candies and toss out the rest or donate the rest to a empty bucket we find along the way. Hi. She gets me every time when she comes over and smacks on the glass and has a big old smile. And share it to your socials. Share it to the brotherhood group. And there's going to be Halloween pictures tomorrow. Fortunately, I get to share pictures of my My kids, because except for Hope, they're all wearing masks so I can put their pictures on there. So that's fun. If you want structure that carries over throughout the holiday, that's what I work on with people. I hope that you get enough value from the lives that I do and these recordings that you're able to implement things into your life. But if you need that extra support, that extra accountability, that extra, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, those extra systems, that's what I'm here for. Enjoy your Halloween. Be safe. Appreciate you for being here. How do I get out of here? Later.